Hello, I just wanted to give a fair warning, a tearjerker alert. If you are a sensitive type like I am, you may want to grab some tissue. Stay tuned.
It's Heaven's World. Say what? Simply Heaven's World. Who's she? She's fabulous. She's glamorous. Super fashionable. Fantabulous. She's admirable. She's blessed. She's heaven. That's me. I'm heaven. Come on in to my world.
Thank you for stopping by Heaven's World. If this is your first time visiting, please hit that subscribe button. If you've been here before, thank you for dropping in. Push that like and share, comment below, and hit the notification bell so you will be notified the next time I drop a video. Now come on in. Hello, and welcome back to my channel. If you didn't know, now you know. This is Heaven's World. And I feel like talking. So can we talk? Can we really talk? Okay, good. So grab yourself your favorite beverage, whatever it may be. Get you some popcorn, something to snack on. We're going to be here for a minute, okay? Because I want to talk about miscarriages. I was looking at Atlanta Housewives, and Portia had a little get-together, dinner, if you will. And she was touching on miscarriaging and her miscarriage and what she went through. And it really brought up some feelings for me, because I too also experienced a miscarriage. It was the hardest situation of my life, and I touched on it before in one of my videos. But I really want to dive into it. And I hear that women were put on this earth to procreate. That's what women do. And that makes you feel feminine, to be able to bring life into the world. So what happens when you can't? See, I always wanted to be a parent. That's what I wanted most in the world. I wanted to be a mother. That's it. I didn't want to be a wife. None of that. I just wanted to be a mother. I wanted to have my own children. I love children. And that's all I wanted in the world. So what happens when what you want most in the world can't happen for you? It just doesn't. When I went through my miscarriage, it was devastating. It was probably one of the hardest things that I've ever had to go through in my life. Right up there with losing my mother. Being pregnant was so beautiful. I enjoyed every minute of it. I could feel him kick, and just knowing that I have this little being in my body that will always be mine. They will love me forever. Forever. And once I pass on, I'll leave something here. Someone here. To show that I was here. I was here. But what happens when this isn't in the cards for you? What happens? the most painful thing. And I mean, and you see the females that eventually they get pregnant and they're successful and they have children, and I'm so grateful for them, and I feel blessed, and I have no envy or jealousy or anything. I feel like that having children, being able to carry a child full term, is a blessing from God. But why not me? Why not me? To bury a child is the hardest thing that you will ever have to do. Especially for me, because I'm not saying my pain is greater than your pain. It all hurts. But for me, not even getting to smell my child or see them breathe or sleep at night or play. You had this little person on the inside of you. But you don't get to reap the benefits. It's painful. When I was first pregnant, my doctor told me, your child's probably going to be born with spinal bifida. He has a hold, and it's going to have a hold in his spine and probably won't be able to walk. God told me no. No, that's not fact. I don't know why this doctor is telling you that. There's nothing wrong with your baby. And I trust God. That doctor told me you should abort your child. What? Even if? No, I could never. No. No. And I'm not saying this is my choice. This is a personal choice. To each his own. Your decision may have been different. But for me, that was never an option. No. No. So we go on along, and the closer we get, and I can feel him moving, and every doctor's appointment and sonograms, and seeing his little heartbeat, and seeing the outline of my baby and his little heart beating, and hands moving, and fingers and arms, and everything's looking wonderful, wonderful. I get to be 5.5 months. That's when my life changed. 5.5 months. September the 2nd, 1995. Will never be the same for me. Ever again. Ever again. Laying back on that bed, feeling my baby's heartbeat against my thigh, praying that the ambulance will hurry. Praying to God to please, please, please protect my baby. I would have given anything. I would have given anything at that moment. I would have given my own
I would have gladly given my own life for my baby. It was so little. But it just wasn't meant to be. It wasn't meant to be. That was the only time. That I was pregnant. And because my son took a breath outside of my body, I had to have a funeral. So I went around, he was so little, I went around to Toys R Us, to the doll section, to the little preemie dolls, and that's when Cabbage Patch Kids was so big then. I bought clothes. I took the little lace off and to make him look more masculine for my little man. I wanted to make sure that he knew his mother loved him. I wanted him to look his best. They didn't make caskets that small. They decorated nice wooden box covered in satin, pillows on the inside. It's beautiful. It was beautiful. And he lay there, his little suit. He was perfect. There was nothing wrong with my baby. No hole in his spine, nothing. He was perfect. Sandy blonde hair, beautiful. Greenish blue eyes. He was my little man. Christian Walsh. My greatest accomplishment. So I'm grateful because I can say that I have experienced every pain. I know what labor pains feel like. They're horrible. There was nothing wrong with him. I had fibroids. I had one large fibroid that was half in my uterus and half out. He was laying on top. I had a little trooper. He was mama's baby, my little boy. The fibroid grew to be larger than my son. So the smallest one had to leave. There wasn't enough room in my womb for both. So the umbilical cord had attached itself to the fibroid and it was taking the nutrients from my child and eventually pushed my child out. That's what happened. I found this out later on. So what do you do when you can't have children? If our only purpose is to procreate as a female. So what was my purpose? which is a question that I ask myself time and time again. Time and time again. What is my purpose here on earth? And then later on that year, around December, there was a little girl at our family's daycare, Tiffany. She was born about the same time as Christian. And my sister would tell me, there's a little girl at the daycare and her mother's young and the baby is smaller than she was when she was born. And I'm like, what? And I went up to the daycare and I saw the little baby and I'm like, oh, she's so beautiful. Oh, she was absolutely perfect. Perfect. Prettiest little girl. And I told my sister, well, ask her mom if she could spend the night at my house. My sister, I just took a stab. Why? I don't even know. I mean, what made me think that a mother would allow a stranger to take their baby overnight? I don't know, but in my spirit, I had to do something. My sister came back and said, she said, okay. She did? I was like, oh, wow. Okay. I went up there, went to the store. We bought Lauren Ashley bassinet for her to sleep in. Cherry wood. It was beautiful, and brass. It was beautiful. The bedding, we bought clothes, shoes, Pampers, everything a baby would need. We had soaps, wet ones, you name it. She had everything by the time I picked her up from the daycare. Car seat, you name it. My husband and I ran out and bought it. Then I told my husband, I'm gonna go pick up this little girl from the daycare and she's gonna come spend the night. My husband loved me, so it's like, okay. He was sweet. I married a really good man. So I went up there and picked up the baby and took her home, and that one day turned into almost a year that we had Tiffany. And I'm telling you this story to say, even though you may not be able to have children yourself, carry them yourself, there's so many children out here that need love. And you never know how God is going to work that thing out. Maybe your purpose, maybe your heart is so big and your love is so strong that you have the ability to love many children. For example, if I would have had my child, my focus would have been on my baby. So what? I wouldn't have been available for Tiffany. So all things working for the good of them who love God. I truly believe that. And through the years, I have raised so many children, touched so many lives, but yet and still, I still have a yearning and that question in the back of my mind. Dying without a legacy. What will I leave behind? How will they even know that I was here? I mean, yes, I've assisted in raising many children, but they have their own parents. You know, my niece and my nephew are like my babies, but they have my sister. I mean, I don't understand, and not that I have to understand. I don't understand why it's what I wanted the most in the world, to be a parent. And I couldn't pray upon a pregnancy. Do you hear what I'm saying? My sister was so fertile, I'd say all the time jokingly, she took everything from me. Everything. A man could pass by her and she's pregnant. Me, no. And that's the only thing that I truly wanted. But God has something greater in store for me. I couldn't just have my focus on one child when there's so many children out here that need love, that desire love, and no one here to give it to them. I'm available for that. Like Marlo was saying, I won't have anyone to love me unconditionally for the rest of my life. Someone that's mine, you know, like I can love on all these children and seed into them and assist in raising them. But at the end of the day, they have their own parent. That's their legacy, not mine. So I mean, I guess it's a question that will never be answered. I don't want to die and nobody even knows or knew I was here. That's my greatest fear. Dying alone and no one that looks like me to tell generations that I was here. It's a pain like no other pain. My son would be turning 25 this year. He was supposed to be my legacy. I wanted to adopt. When I figured out that I couldn't have children, I wanted to adopt. And I still would like to. But I'm up in age now. I'm 52. but I still want to adopt a child. Am I crazy? Am I crazy for wanting? I mean, I'll never have grandchildren. I still have a desire to have a child. I mean, I get in relationships with people with children, but it's not the same. It's not the same. These are their children, even though I treat them as if they're mine. But at the end of the day, if that relationship doesn't work out, those children go with their parent. That's not me. And I'm still by myself. And that parent that you're in the relationship with, even though you feel like those children are yours, at the end of the day, they're saying, what they say is the final say. I mean, I just guess it's not going to be in the cards for me to be a parent. I won't get to be a grandparent.
Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this segment of Can We Talk? If so, please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, leave your comments below, and hit that notification bell so that you will be notified when I drop another video. Bye my angels. Hey guys, remember, if you're in need of an event planner for any special occasion, interior designer, I'm your girl. Reach out to Chic Vibes, where there are a whole lot of sophistication and elegant vibes going on. I look forward to hearing from you.